Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Connor, Chalk, whatever you call me. I don't freaking know. But we're finally doing this AMA video. This was a sub goal redemption thing from the subathon back in May. And I may or may not have put it off a little longer than I meant to. So I apologize, but we are finally doing it. And we've had some questions in the Discord here for a while to go through. So we're going to go through those. All right, so we're just going to jump right into these. I have looked at them periodically over the last couple months here and there. I've just kind of checked in, seen what we had, asked for more questions and stuff. So some of these I have read, some of these I haven't, and some of them I probably forget whether or not I've read them. So we're kind of doing it on the fly. I don't have pre-written responses or anything. Let's get started here. So the first one we've got here is from T-Ho. Should I put a list in one message? That's not a question. All right, my bad. Keeping going. Viltrue. Would you rather get 0 questions for the AMA or 100 would you rather questions? Getting things started off with a meme. I like it. I would have rather gotten 100 would you rathers for sure. I like playing would you rathers, so obviously 0 questions would have not been too good of a for the content. Who are your top 5 favorite viewers starting at number 2? Because obviously Viltrue's number 1. Okay, that's a little bit of a callback to the last montage video. For those of you who have seen that, that was during the subathon when Viltrue came up with the big brain idea to record or to make me read the TTS out loud that he's my favorite viewer. But I could never pick 5 of you that are my favorite viewers. Literally, I could not do that. I'll pick my wife 5 times. But what we can do is highlight the top 5 right now on the leaderboards, which are Ian, the Flamingo. You can see on the right side of the screen here, rolling up. DJ Music Inspired, aka Perry. Number 2, big dub last night. Ishan, and 918 in 3rd. 4th, we've got Maddie Tasky. And 5th, we've got my wife Taya. Dustin unfortunately lost all of his last night and had to start from scratch, or he would have been in that list. But anyways, that's what I'll go with for that answer. Moving on. How many pairs of shoes do you own? I own probably around like 6 or 7. I wear 1. And then I have 1 pair that I used to wear as my main shoes, but they wore out and now they're just my lawn cutting shoes. I'm mowing the grass. So, and Viltrue also asked, Team Edward or Team Jacob? Team Edward. I had an Edward and Bella poster in my room growing up, revealing more than I intended to already. Have you ever traveled outside of the country? Asks Ian the Flamingo. And the answer to that is sort of. I have never traveled outside of the United States, but I have traveled outside of the mainland US. So not outside the country, no. But outside of the mainland country, the 48 states or whatever the flip. I have been to Hawaii. That's the only thing remotely close to being out of the country. And it was very, very different there, like culturally and everything. So I consider it at least somewhat of a trip outside the country. I don't know. Ian also asks, when are you going to stream Fallout 3? God damn it. All right, this has been a meme for a while. Ian bought Fallout New Vegas for me to play through on stream and had a blast, by the way. I do intend to play Fallout 3 on stream at some point, I promise. Or at the very least, I'm going to do a game, like a Let's Play YouTube series or something. Because it is, story mode games are a long commitment to do on stream and it's got to be certain ones and stuff. So either way, the content will exist eventually, Ian, I promise, dude. Thank you. Back to Viltrue again here. We've got, how much did you pay for your auto locking software and how do I find it? So yeah, not very much because it doesn't fucking work. This is the time where I should probably plug in that voice clip though.
Yeah, this guy's a level 65 chalksage TTV, and he landed every shot. He has no recoil. He's using an AK-47 and it's auto locking, so yeah.
But yeah, so just subscribe to me monthly on Twitch and you get it for free. It auto installs. If you had to pick another name for your band, what would it be? I don't really know, because we've all kind of like landed on really enjoying that name. It is a little long, but that was kind of the intention with it, because we'd all been in a lot of bands with shorter names and things for a while. There's some bands like The World is a Beautiful Place and I'm No Longer Afraid to Die, and like we didn't want to go that long, but like bands like that were like, oh, it's kind of cool sometimes when you have like a phrase for a name or something. And this one hadn't been taken yet, so we went with it. A couple of the other names we were considering were Clush, C-L-U-S-H, which I still think is a sweet word. It's a song by an old collaborative band of like scene band vocalists, like the high-pitched singing dudes. They had a band and they had a song called that. That's where we got that from. And then another one I really liked was Grain with an E on the end. We wanted it to be like grain, like grainy film texture, that kind of thing. But after, obviously, regular Grain, G-R-A-I-N, was taken by a billion bands. And then we did a little bit of research, and Grain with an E apparently is, you know what? Let's just pull it up. Jamie, pull that up. This is what Grain with an E on the end of it means. Number one is obsolete form of grain, obviously. Yep. In French, though, it means seed, fertilized grain, or in Quebec specifically, it is a slang term for dick and penis. So we didn't go with that, and yeah, that's where we're at. So Tihoy it is. What's your favorite type of food? I love chips and salsa specifically, but that's not really a type of food, I guess. If you're looking more for like a general type of food, I suppose I would say Chinese is my favorite like overall type of food, but specific food, chips and salsa, and that will never change. Can I join your band, says Viltrue. Can we be like Linkin Park? I'll do the wiki wax. Yes, that's short and sweet. Yes, you can. And yes, you can do that. We got one from Perry here. If you could have 4 liquids through magical taps that never run out, what would they be? Magical taps. Okay. It's specific to only me, because obviously if I could like get unlimited pure water through a magical tap, then I could probably help the world a lot. So for me specifically, I would go with Thai iced tea. Already cold, coming out there, right into the ice, glass of ice. That's one of them. Mountain Dew. I know, I'm sorry, but it's there. I don't care. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Rockstar sugar-free fruit punch, I think, is the flavor I'll go with if I have to pick a flavor specifically. And then number 4, I feel like I should pick an alcohol, but I don't want to go with like a PBR or something, because if it's like a magical unlimited tap never running out, I think I would go with like an Angry Orchard, like the unfiltered Angry Orchard. If you won $1 million, what would you do? Would probably have a heart attack, I bet, because I wouldn't be able to believe it. But realistically, after I freaked out about it for a while, I would pay off any debts that I have, my our house and cars and stuff like that, and then immediately after that, if my parents are not done paying off their house, I would help them with that, and I would try to do something for a lot of my immediate family and some of my close friends too. Also, I would put a butt ton of it away, because I know how I would be if I started buying a bunch of shit with it, and I never intend to do that if I ever wind up with that much money. I always want to keep it at least a good chunk of it safe and reserved, so I don't go back to square one ever again. Would you rather get raided by Shroud or 15k in cash? I'm gonna go with the 15k in cash. This is why. Kind of back to the last thing, I could pay off most of my debt other than the house, obviously. With that would help immensely. The ceiling of the Shroud raid could be higher potentially, but I have been raided a couple times in the past, and I have met some amazing people through the raids, but I don't believe that the monetary value would be anywhere near the same. Most likely Shroud would raid me, and all of his fanboys that are expecting some cracked gamer would see me whiffing 30 million shots, and then they would just bail immediately. So, but if it was peak Shroud during peak PUBG, that would be interesting. Maybe I would go Shroud there. What's your spaghetti policy? Okay, I'm gonna Google this to see if it's a reference to something that I don't know about. Okay, it is an Always Sunny thing. I should have known. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
Charlie, but he refused to go.
What is your spaghetti policy here?
Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? He doesn't belong in a place like this, you guys.
All right, come on.
Okay. My spaghetti policy is that it should not have meat crumbles in it. Don't care what you say. Just noodles and sauce and maybe mushrooms. That's my spaghetti policy. All right. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal? I have a couple things. One, I don't feel comfortable talking about on here, not because I believe it was actually paranormal, but because it was not appropriate to talk about here. It was just a very weird scenario that somebody else was convinced was paranormal in my friend group. That's all I'll say about that one. If you're really curious, I guess you can DM me. But when I was younger, I definitely encountered things that I thought were paranormal. I don't know if they were in hindsight or not, but my friends and I would always look for creepy stuff, and it definitely seemed like a few different times we encountered some actually terrifying things. I'll list one specific thing. We had a tree house in the woods that we would camp out in pretty frequently, and one time there was a baby crying sound, like a coyote call type thing in the woods. We think it was one of our friends doing it, but we couldn't see. It was very dark, and we had like a little bit of a light from like a Game Boy, because back then we didn't have cell phones with flashlights. We just had a DS. That's how old I'm getting. So we were using that light to like see a little bit, and we threw a piece of slate, like a shuriken, towards the sound, and then it came right back at us like a couple seconds later, and like it could have been our friend. How in the hell he caught a fucking throwing star of slate and threw it back at us that quickly in the dark, I don't know. But things like that, that's probably the closest I've been to actual paranormal stuff that I believe was potentially paranormal, but who knows. Tiho, which was the happiest moment in your childhood? Oh man, that's tricky, dude. I feel like one of them was probably getting my first dog. Honestly, every pet I've ever gotten, I've been so excited about every time. But also, man, I don't know. I think one of the things that popped in my brain first was remembering the first time my team won the championship in our like local baseball team growing up. That was pretty sweet. Probably the first time I played Sonic Adventure 2, Super Mario Sunshine, those things. For sure, I'd say, actually. But yeah, something like that along those lines, I'm sure. What is your wish for our future, our society in the future? I mean, holistically and like top level shit, like obviously I would like the world to be more friendly, more peaceful, more kind to each other, more well off, people help each other more, all that good stuff. But you know, there's some nuance there. Aside from that, like if it weren't just like the obvious world peace stuff, I'd say like easier / cheaper forms of travel. It'd be cool to see like technological advances there that allow people to see more of the world more frequently and in quicker fashion. Yeah, I'd also like to see AI not take over art spaces and strictly just be used for benefiting, you know, workers, benefiting healthcare, things like that. What was the first game you remember playing a lot? Pokemon Red for the Game Boy Color. I remember specifically having that game. I still have one, but I don't think it's my original one. I think I bought another one at some point. But that was the first game that I really remember playing, and like my brain developing as I played it to like realize how it was played and what things did over time and stuff. Definitely the first game that I can really remember, and a lot. I played it a lot. What is your biggest regret in your gaming life? That's an interesting one. I think I would pick not getting into PC gaming sooner. Although, to be fair, I couldn't really get into it at my old house because we just had like a really cheap computer, and my family would have never been able to get me, you know, something that crazy. Like they could get me consoles every now and again, but there was no way we could build a gaming rig, and we didn't have the internet for it either. Our computer was a family computer that was shared for like Facebook and you know, eBay, I guess. I would still go back and start PC gaming the first time I bought a PC, instead of letting it sit around for like 4 years. We got favorite or most memorable partying moments. I feel like most of these are probably Beer Olympics related. Every year my friends and I do a Beer Olympics, bunch of drinking game challenges in groups of 2, a little duos tournament basically, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of goofy shit. There have been a lot of bad times in those too, don't get me wrong, but mostly fun times. Aside from those though, definitely like old lake house parties after our band shows. We would play house shows, have bands from other states come through and like meet all these new people, and then party after, and it was always a great time. And then all the times at the Somerset house, Cody and Seuss's, so many good memories there too. So it's really hard to pick, but there's a lot of good partying memories there. Where would you want to go for your next vacation? I would like to travel to Tokyo at some point in my life. That would be sick, but realistically a vacation, I think I'm overdue for a beach. And none of my friends like going to the beach anymore, and so every time we go on a trip, it's just like to a baseball stadium or like planning to go to like a cabin or something, which is cool. Mountains and all that good stuff, it's cool. I like it, but I love the beach. I love going to the beach, and I haven't been in like 7 years now or something, so would be cool to go back. Who and how was your first crush? Kimiko from Shaolin Showdown probably was one of them. Actually, no, probably Misty. What's your favorite part about streaming? It's gonna sound really corny, and I don't care. It's you guys. I mean that so much. Like when I started streaming, like obviously there's that part in the back of my brain that's like, oh, this would be like an amazing job, amazing, like if I could make a living playing video games on the internet, that's awesome. But like when I started streaming, and shout out to my wife, I always bring this up every time, but Taya, thank you for always watching me. Even when you're in the same room as me, she would have my stream up and just be like, hear me twice. One viewer streams for so long. And then eventually some of my other friends, Dustin, Funk, Stitchy, started coming in regularly and then became mods in the stream. Finally got to the point where we got that big raid from Josh OG and met a lot more people. Tap, Air, Grimes, Masters, Mage. So many awesome people started coming through. And then I was in the Duck stream team from that and so on and so forth. Met Tech Type, met Triangle Face, all these people. What I'm trying to say is genuinely my viewers, my community, Chalk Zone members, anybody that comes in and spends even a remote amount of time hanging out and shooting the crap with us, that's what I look forward to every time, is just hanging out with you guys. Every time I'm about to go live, I'm like, I hope everybody's down to hang out again tonight. So that is my favorite part for sure. If you were approached by a man who said he could get you anything you want, including billions of dollars or world peace, what would you get? I hate this because I know, like, in my brain, I can feel myself saying, like, what are you talking about? You would take the billions of dollars. That would solve so many issues for so long. But genuinely, if it was truly a cut and paste, black and white, you get $1 billion or billions of dollars, or there is actual world peace, nothing's wrong ever again, I would take the world peace. You take world peace and it's definitive. I don't feel like money is going to be as important at that point. And then way more people would be happy and comfortable in life and everything. So that's my pick. I promise. I promise. AJ, have you ever put an ice cube in your butt on a hot summer's day? Not on a hot summer's day, no. Matt, my dude, says, what kind of car / truck do you drive? What was your first vehicle if the current vehicle isn't it? I'm going to answer those two together. Currently, I'm driving a Chevy Cruze. When I got it, I loved it, and now I hate it. And it's currently outside with a donut on and needs brake pads replaced. But my first vehicle was a Honda Accord, 1996, 98. It was barely younger than me, and it had a lot of miles on it, and it fell apart on me, and I miss it because it was so nice not having a car payment. But I did actually genuinely enjoy that car. What is your favorite color? My favorite color growing up was always red, and then for a little while it switched to blue randomly. Black is my favorite color currently. And also, honestly, orange has really grown on me because ever since the Sage transformation of the stream to this orange and red and yellow gradient and stuff, I've honestly really started to like it. Next question from Matt is, what is one thing you wish you could change about your life, if there is anything? I mean, I feel like there's always something that people want to change about their lives, no matter how well you are off or anything like that. It's always something you probably want. I think it would be personal stuff, like my sinus issues recently that I've mentioned on stream and stuff. I want those to go away. I don't know. I don't want to ask for anything too crazy there. I like my life and I'm very happy with where I'm at and where I'm going and everything and the people around me. So I don't think I'd change anything like that. It would just be health things, because that stuff worries me and causes a lot of anxiety, and I want to be around with my friends and family for a long time. What is your favorite game of all time? My favorite console games go like this, and they are interchangeable. I can't pick a favorite. They are all three for the GameCube, and they are Super Mario Sunshine, Sonic Adventure 2, or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Those are my three favorite games of all time. I will always love them. I love replaying them over and over and over again. I never get sick of them, and they make me very happy. As far as PC goes, PUBG is the game I've played the most, and I do love it, and obviously I appreciate what it's done for me as a streamer and my community, whether or not I am PUBG partner. But my actual favorite PC game, I'm having a little bit of an awakening moment here, you guys. I think my favorite PC game might be PUBG. I think why am I even defending myself right now? It's PUBG. I know it is, but I will also say Minecraft is amazing, and it's good on both, but I prefer it on PC. Java servers with like upgrades and stuff to the graphics and everything. It's amazing, and I barely scratched the surface of that game. It's, I think, one of the best video games of all time, but favorite wise, I think I just have to give it to PUBG. I can't not. Also, shout out to Halo, because if we're talking strictly multiplayer, Halo would be my favorite console game of all time, Halo 3 specifically. Are you still accepting questions? That is my question. Thank you, Tap, for the question. No. Our final question is from Ian. Have you ever had a dream that you had, you would, you could, you'd, do you with you wants you could do so, you do you could you want him to do you so much you could do anything? Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for the questions. I appreciate it very much. And I'm sorry it took me so long to make the video, but I appreciate your patience. If you have any more questions, you know, you can always feel free to tune into the stream and ask them live. I will not say I'm not answering that to anything that is appropriate. So yeah, feel free to stop in, hang out. If you're not already part of the community, I'll have links in the description for my Discord channel, my stream, all that good stuff. If you happen to be new, thank you so much for watching this. If you're not new, if you've been here for a while, thank you for dealing with me over the years, or however long it's been that you've been a viewer and a member of the community. And I genuinely appreciate you. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and off in the future forever. Thank you guys so much for the support. We'll see you around.